Hey everyone, Anjali here, and today I'm about to tell you a story that still sends shivers down my spine. A story about a summer internship in Mumbai that turned into a waking nightmare. If you love a good scare and tales of the unexplained, you're in the right place. So, dim the lights, get cozy, and let's dive into the most terrifying 2 months of my life. Mumbai in June as well. It's an experience. Imagine a giant, suffocating, wet woolen blanket draped over the city. That's what it felt like. Sweat trickling down my back, the constant blare of horns, the air thick with exhaust, dust, and pungent spices. I was interning with a professor at the university, and my dorm didn't have a C. You can probably guess how miserable that was in the sweltering heat. I desperately needed temporary, cheap lodging near campus, but finding that in Mumbai, it felt like searching for a needle in a haystack, especially a magical needle that also had a C. After days of fruitless online searching and battling through noisy brokerage centers, I was at my wit's end. I was exhausted, dehydrated, and honestly, ready to just sleep on the street. But then, as fate would have it, or perhaps something more sinister, I stumbled upon it. Tucked away in a narrow alley, behind rows of bustling shops, an old wooden sign. Its writing faded but still legible: room for rent, Sharma Properties. The office was just a small, dusty room, dimly lit by a single, buzzing ceiling bulb. Inside, an elderly man with salt and pepper hair and thick-rimmed glasses sat behind an old wooden desk. Mr. Sharma. Unlike the boisterous brokers I'd met, he spoke slowly, his voice almost a monotone, his eyes watching me calmly through his thick lenses. I laid out my requirements. Near the university, short-term for 2 months, and, most importantly, cheap. He listened, nodding occasionally. Then he said, his voice devoid of emotion, that he had an apartment meeting all my conditions. Near the university, available for a short-term 2-month lease, and unbelievably cheap. Just a deposit for electricity and water, fully refundable if I stayed the entire 2 months. It sounded too good to be true. I asked why. Mr. Sharma took a slow sip of tea from an old ceramic cup, his gaze distant. He explained the apartment was a bit ill-fated. The previous tenant, an old woman living alone, had passed away in the bathroom after slipping. Since then, it had been difficult to rent. People, he said, were superstitious. He'd bought it cheap and now just wanted someone living there to add some warmth, to dispel its bad reputation. Then came the catch. The deposit wouldn't be refunded if I left early, or if I wasn't home regularly. He added, almost as an afterthought, that he would occasionally stop by to check. His voice was steady, but something in his eyes made me slightly uneasy. However, exhaustion and the oppressive heat had taken their toll. All I cared about was an AC and a place to rest for the summer. I pushed aside my doubts. I agreed. The apartment was on the 3rd floor of a dilapidated building, plaster peeling from the walls in large patches. It was small, just a living room connected to a kitchen and 1 bedroom, but it looked reasonably clean and was sparsely furnished. The air inside felt heavy, carrying a musty scent mingled with the faint, lingering smell of old spices. The bathroom was tiny, the tiles stained yellow, with a noticeable crack on the wall near the showerhead. That must be where the old woman hit her head, I thought morbidly, trying not to let my mind wander too far. The first night passed relatively peacefully, aside from the usual street noise echoing up and the sound of water dripping somewhere in the pipes. I gratefully turned on the air conditioner, its dry chill cutting through the oppressive While unpacking, I found an old wooden box shoved deep into a drawer of the creaky wardrobe. Inside was a worn, leather-bound notebook and several old, black and white photographs. The first photo was a portrait of an elderly woman with a kind face, likely the previous tenant, but the other photos struck me as odd. A young, happy-looking couple, then other faces, men, women, old people, children, complete strangers, seemingly unrelated, like a collection of disconnected lives. The notebook was just as strange. The handwriting was erratic, filled with disjointed thoughts, vague fears about being watched, about strange noises in the night, about the feeling of someone else being in the empty room. The dates spanned several years, but there was no name. A deep sense of unease crept over me. Why were these things here? Who wrote the notebook? Who were the people in the photographs? I closed the box, put it back in its place, telling myself it was just old belongings left behind. That night, while showering, the water flow from the shower head suddenly dwindled, then stopped completely, though I hadn't turned it off. Startled, I looked up at the cracked wall. For a moment, under the dim yellow light, I felt as if the crack was watching me, like a narrowing, malevolent eye. I quickly turned off the light, dried myself in a hurry, and rushed out of the bathroom, my heart pounding in my chest. Over the next few days, the feeling of unease only grew. I constantly felt like I wasn't alone in the apartment. Occasionally, I'd hear faint whispers from the next room when I knew no one was there. Sometimes, I'd catch a fleeting shadow move in the corner of my eye, just at the edge of my vision. The musty smell in the apartment seemed to intensify, mixed with an indescribable, cloying odor, like damp earth after a long rain, but somehow wrong. One afternoon, heading down the stairs, I met a middle-aged woman from the opposite apartment, Mrs. Pri. She looked at me with a mixture of curiosity and pity. "You're the new tenant upstairs, child?" she asked, lowering her voice conspiratorially. I nodded. Mrs. Priya pulled me closer, whispering, "That apartment is no good, child. It's haunted." It wasn't just the old woman who died recently. Before her, there was a young couple. She hesitated, glancing around nervously before continuing. They argued terribly, then died together in there. People say the house consumes people. Many who lived there met bad ends. You should be careful. Mrs. Priya's warning sent a chill down my spine, far colder than any AC. I remembered the photographs and the notebook, the strange faces, the fearful, disjointed writing. Could they have been previous victims? That night, I had a nightmare so vivid it felt real. I saw myself standing in the living room, pitch black. The young couple from the photograph appeared before me, their faces deathly pale, their eyes empty, hollow they whispered, their voices like wind whistling through a crack. "Go. Leave this place now." I woke up with a start, drenched in sweat, my heart threatening to beat out of my chest. I couldn't stay here alone anymore. In a panic, I called Mira, my close friend from the internship, telling her everything. Mira was skeptical at first, thinking I was just stressed and imagining things. But seeing my genuine terror, the way my voice trembled, she agreed to stay with me for a few nights to ease my fears. Mira's presence brought immediate, blessed relief. We cooked together, watched movies, chatted late into the night. The apartment seemed less oppressive, the shadows less menacing. Even Mira, though, admitted the atmosphere felt a bit heavy. That night, as we were sleeping, Mira suddenly bolted upright, gasping for air. She said she dreamt someone was standing in the dark corner of the room, staring intently at her. The next morning, Mira left abruptly, making an excuse about an urgent matter at home. I knew she had been frightened too. I was alone again. The fear returned, stronger than before. I could clearly sense a presence in the apartment. Unseen eyes followed my every move. The whispers became clearer. Sometimes I even heard faint sobbing sounds. The crack on the bathroom wall seemed larger, darker, almost breathing. A few days before my 2-month lease was up, I ran into Mr. Sharma in the courtyard. Strangely, he seemed oddly cheerful. He smiled, but the smile didn't quite reach his eyes. Almost time, isn't it, Miss Anjali? Just a few more days. Don't worry, I'll return your deposit in full. Then he added, his voice dropping, almost talking to himself. By then, this house will be much easier to handle. His words made me shiver. Easier to handle. What did he mean? Could my 2-month stay truly be enough to change the house's bad reputation? Or did it mean something else entirely? His words felt deeply strange, ominous even. But I didn't dare ask more. I hurried away, the sense of unease, a heavy weight in my chest. That night, sleep was impossible. The feeling of being watched intensified beyond measure. I felt multiple pairs of eyes on me from every shadow. I sat up, looking out the window. Under the sickly yellow glow of the streetlights, I saw a figure standing beneath the tree, looking up at my window. It was Mr. Sharma. He stood there, motionless as a statue, his face lost in the shadows. Just as I registered his presence, he turned and vanished into the night. Why was he standing there? Was he watching me? Absolute terror seized me. I wanted to flee immediately, but a strange pull kept me there. A morbid curiosity to understand what was truly happening. I felt hypnotized, rising from the bed, walking towards the living room. The room had utterly transformed. The plastered walls were gone, replaced by bizarre, viscous, membranous surfaces, as if I were standing inside the organs of some vast, unknown creature. The air was thick with a rank stench that made me gag. Out of the darkness, translucent white figures emerged, drifting towards me. I recognized them, the faces from the old photographs. The old woman, the young couple, and many others. They had no eyes, only deep, black, empty sockets. They stared at me in silence, their forms shimmering faintly. Then they slowly turned, moving towards the bedroom door, which had now become a deep, distorted black hole, swirling with inky darkness. As the white figures disappeared into the void, I felt an overpowering, irresistible force pulling me towards the hole. I lost control of my body. My legs moved on their own, stepping forward into the endless darkness. In the courtyard below, Mrs. Priya sat talking with a few other neighbors, glancing up at the darkened third-floor apartment. Another one gone, she whispered, shaking her head. Don't know how many that makes now. That house truly eats people. Mr. Sharma entered the courtyard, holding a small wooden box, walking silently towards the staircase, ignoring the murmurs. He climbed the stairs to the third-floor apartment, unlocked the door, and stepped into the empty, cold room. He walked to the old wardrobe, opened the drawer, and took out the worn notebook and the black and white photos. He flipped through the pages, stopping at a blank page. With a slow, almost reverent motion, he placed a small, newly developed photograph onto the empty space. It was a picture of me, Anjali, taken with a forced smile on the day I first came to rent the room. Mr. Sharma smiled faintly, a smile of cold satisfaction, then gently closed the notebook, placing the wooden box back in its drawer, hidden once more in the silent darkness of the room. And that, my friends, is where my story ends, or perhaps where it truly began for Mr. Sharma's collection. What do you think happened to Anjali? Have you ever had an experience that defied explanation? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this chilling tale, please hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next spooky installment. Until next time, stay safe and maybe check your landlord's eyes a little more closely.